Joining us now, it is a great pleasure to welcome a woman that I kind of discovered as everybody else has in the last few months. She's done a great thing on Facebook called Song of the Day since, we're all going through this COVID thing. We won't get into the details of that, but she's a very talented singer and impressionist, and she's based over in the UK, and I wanted to have her on to talk because we played a lot of the songs that she sings on her Song of the Day, and not only as herself, but as many other great artists, the Judy Garland impression, Shirley Bassey, Doris Day, Julie Andrews, just to name a couple. And Debbie Wileman joins us today. And Debbie, real pleasure to talk to you. I've been following you since I discovered you on Facebook, I guess as most of us have. So thanks for being with us today.
Oh, thank you, Doug. Thank you for asking me. It's lovely. Cheers.
I saw a printed interview I think you did with, I think it was the Broadway website.
Broadway World, yes. Yeah.
And I was wondering if anybody had contacted you to do an interview since you started these. So you've had a couple others other than myself.
Broadway World, Chris Attore asked me to be on his internet show, and Jim Caruso on Pajama Cast Party.
That's right. I did see that one right on YouTube that came up. That's great. Well, First of all, let's just start a little bit. You started the Song of the Day. This is up, I guess, as we do this today on Saturday, June the 27th. This is day 99, right?
It is. Wow, well done. Yes, it's going to be day 99 today.
To learn 99 songs is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, when I started, I didn't really think forward about how many I'd do or anything, really. So, yeah, I don't think I really expected to be still doing it now, but it's cool.
I don't think anybody expected this to last this long, but thankfully you're one of the people on the Internet. A lot of I've seen musical artists doing what you're doing, at least live performances or recorded songs. So what was the first time you said, well, I'm going to do something on the Internet?
Well, it was just lockdown had sort of begun. I think it had just begun here in the UK, and they were just saying about people having to isolate. And I thought, oh dear, what about some of those poor people who live by themselves, who are having to just be in? And I thought, oh, it might be nice to sing a song on Facebook for my 650 friends or something that I had at the time, and just thought, oh, that might be nice. I'll sing a song every day. And then it sort of got a lot more views and popular than I ever expected it would, really.
I think the first one you did, at least the first one I saw, you did a Johnny Mathis song. Wasn't that the first one you did?
That's it. Yeah, that was the first one, Misty.
Misty, yeah. Right. And you started doing them just on your phone, right?
Still am, yeah. That's
still the phone?
My phone, yeah.
And
yeah, I got slightly more good. Oh, terrible grammar, but I got slightly more flash by having a holder to hold.
Right, I remember one day you said somebody gave you a holder. Right.
The sort of Blair Witch Project style.
That's right.
Hello.
Well, just to give a little background of you, and just reading your Facebook page, I mean, you went to school to learn performing arts, right? Or you did that in school at one point, right?
I did university, yes. Yeah, so I went to Salford University, which is in Manchester in the north of England, and I did a performing arts degree. And I did try and sort of be a singer-actress as my job when I was younger, and I made a good sort of stab at it until I was about 25. And then I just wasn't making enough money to survive, really. I had to pay my bills and all of that, and I just wasn't getting enough work. And I don't come from like a rich family or anything, so I had to get a job. And,
as we all have at times, yes.
Yeah. So I had to work, and so then I just sort of, real life took over, I suppose, and I gave it up. Really, I still sing. I'd sing for fun and like maybe do a couple of weddings or whatever. But I hadn't done anything professionally for like 11 years, something like that.
I found some videos on YouTube. You did some. You did a lot of rock and roll singing early on, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I've done a mixture. I mean, but before that, I was in a jazz band because I sang with a jazz band that I used to sing at Quaglino's restaurant every weekend, every Friday and Saturday when I was 17 with a jazz band. And then I found out later that's where Judy Garland had her 5th wedding reception.
Oh, right, because she got married in London.
Mickey Dean's. She had the reception at Quaglino's.
Imagine I'm surrounded by men. hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. Sun is shining, come on, get happy. Lord is waiting to take your hand. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get going to the promised land. We're heading across the river. Throw your sins away in the tide. It's oh so peaceful on the other side. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You better chase all your cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. Chase your cares away. Hallelujah, get happy. For the judgment day. Sun is shining, come on, get happy. The Lord is waiting to take your hand. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. We're gonna be going to the promised land. We're heading across the river. Throw your sins away in the tide. It's quiet and peaceful on the other side. Forget your troubles, get happy. Your cares fly away. Sing hallelujah, get happy. Get ready for your judgment day. Come on, get happy. Chase the cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. Sun is shining, come on, get happy. Lord is waiting to take your hand. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. We're going to the promised land. Heading across the river, throw your sins away in the tide. It's oh so peaceful on the other side. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You better chase all your cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready for the judgment day.
I only knew that after I'd sung there every weekend for a year, and I was like, oh, hey. So that was, but I was already into all that stuff anyway. My nana introduced me to like Judy Garland and Marilyn and Frank Sinatra. I mean, my dad likes Frank Sinatra as well, but it was my nana that sort of got me into those artists, really. So when this jazz band, I worked in a record shop when I was a teenager on the weekends, and this guy said, oh, our singer's not going to be there, and we've got a gig at Coglino's. You can sing, can't you? And I was like, yeah. Do you know Frank Sinatra stuff? I was like, yeah. Do you know Judy Garland? I was like, yeah. Julie London? Yeah. So I just did it, and then they got rid of their singer.
Oh, really?
And I was till I went to university. And then I did some more rock and roll-y type stuff.
Your dad is a rock singer, right? Your dad a rock singer, from what I've seen on your videos? Yeah.
He has his own band. He's in a psychedelic rock band called the Bevis Frond, and that's his job. That's what my dad does. Right. And the singer-songwriter and guitarist of the band.
Oh, great. I was going to ask you, because, a young person, I myself kind of got into this music growing up in New York. A radio station played like Sinatra and those kind of singers, and my parents were older parents when they had us, so they had the records, so that's how I got into it. I was going to ask you, how did you get into this type of music, but I guess you sort of answered that a little bit. Right? Did you hear it on the radio over there in the UK?
Oh, yeah, sometimes. I had a lot of music just open to me, like all of my dad's records or whatever. He's always said, whatever you want to listen to, just listen, so long as you're careful with the vinyl.
Yeah, right.
I could listen to whatever I wanted. And he had some Sinatra, and he loves buying lots of vinyl, and I've always had a record player. So we'd go off together and go to record fairs or whatever, and I got really into that type of music. So you can in the pound, I guess $1 bins or like £1
pound
bins.
Right. That's where you found them, right?
I'll have that Nat King Cole. Ooh, I'll have that Peggy Lee. I've got a big collection just because I've just really loved the style, the vocal quality. I think they're great.
Yeah, I've had a chance to talk to the sons and daughters of some of them. Frank Sinatra Jr. I had a chance to talk to, and Dean Martin's daughter, Dina's a good friend, so it's kind of fun to hear the stories about these great artists, what they did.
Oh, yeah. I think they're brilliant. You know, they've got such charisma as well as the talent as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the one impression that you've done several of, and I think that's gotten enormous response, is the one for Judy Garland. Now, obviously, you're younger than I am, and she was kind of before my time, but I just remember seeing her on TV, obviously Wizard of Oz, and then some of the variety shows that you can watch on YouTube. But how did you get interested in Judy Garland?
That was my grandmother, my dad's mum. She first showed me. I used to go round to her house a lot. We were very close. I was an only grandchild, and we'd have like film days because she loved all that stuff. And we'd put a video in. She'd go, "This is a good one,
oh, sure,"
and put a video in. And Easter Parade got me.
Oh,
I
right.
was about I don't know 7 or 8. And that was the first one I really saw. I didn't see Wizard of Oz until I was a bit older, but it was Easter Parade, and I was just like, this is brilliant. And I knew Fred anyway because she loved Fred Astaire, so I'd already watched all the Fred and Ginger ones. But when I saw Easter Parade, I was like, oh, now this is another level.
Yeah.
And Judy, I adored in it, and I can't tell my left from my right, and in that film she can't either.
That's right.
I just thought it was brilliant. She was fun and sort of had that comedy element to her as well as being a fantastic singer and dancer. It wasn't just the glamour. She was like funny as well, which I really liked. And so we watched a lot of those films together. She showed me I Could Go On Singing as well for the first time.
I saw that movie when I was a kid, and I didn't know a lot about her background, but that movie has a lot of her real life in it, apparently.
Yeah, I think her and Dirk improvised quite a lot of the dialogue because they didn't think much to the original script, and they sort of improved it together.
Yeah, kind of a singer that's going through a lot of personal problems, and obviously Judy had those even at that time, and I guess 61, 62, whatever that movie came out. So you've done a couple of songs from that movie on your video tributes, haven't you? Yeah,
I've done By Myself and I Could Go On Singing, which I was lucky enough to have Billy Stritch record me a backing track for, because I didn't have enough backing tracks. I sort of ran out of them.
Right.
And I put a plea on Facebook, because anyone could maybe record me a backing track
I saw that, yeah.
I could do some more. And I wasn't expecting Billy Stritch to say, I'll do I Could Go On Singing for you. I was like, okay, yes, please.
Now, you did not know Billy before?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I met him through Facebook just from doing these videos, and we'd been working on a project together which came out, the song that we did called Since You Left New York.
I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah, great song.
It's lovely, isn't it? Him and Sandy Knox wrote that, but he and Sandy had only seen me through these videos I've been doing.
Okay, because he of course worked with he worked with Liza Minnelli for years. Billy Stritch, he was her accompanist.
Yeah. I know, and Jim Caruso. I realised I'd actually seen Jim Caruso in concert when I saw Liza in Manchester years ago.
Oh, you saw her concert?
Yeah. Yes, I've seen Liza twice live.
Yeah, great talent. And now the Judy Garland impression, this is what struck me, again, as a younger person yourself, and even before my time, I used to remember seeing the variety shows that she did, or the clips that she was on Jack Parr, and she was kind of a little tipsy, and you got that voice down. Is that where you picked up the talking voice of Judy?
It's from a number of things. It's not just there, but all over. I try to mix in a little bit of, things that she said actually into what I'm.
She never spoke to me again. Never will San Francisco, here is your wonder one, saying I'll wonder no more. Other places only make me love you best. Tell me you're the one in all the golden west. San Francisco, I'm coming home again, never to roam again, never to roam again. San Francisco, right when I arrive, I really come alive, and you will laugh to see me perpendicular, hanging on a cable car. San Francisco, let me beat my feet up and down Market Street. I'm gonna climb uphill just to watch it get dark from the top of the mark. There's Brooklyn Bridge, London Bridge, and the Bridge of San Louis. But the only bridge that's a real gone bridge is the bridge across the bay to San Francisco. I'm coming home again, never to roam again. By God, San Francisco. I don't mean Frisco. San Francisco, here I come.
I'm an avid fan, really.
Yeah.
I've got all
Oh,
her
you do it with
CDs.
love. It's not a criticism. You do it with love, but it's kind of the Judy Garland on the talk shows where she was kind of very entertaining, but maybe a little bit off.
There's different ones. On the Jack Parr one from 62, I think she's really on it. She's
Yeah.
really sharp. But there's some others. I don't know. She's always great. She's
Oh,
always
shoot.
great.
Yeah, it was great, entertaining. But even Jack
Yeah.
Parr said, she had a couple times before she came on stage. So,
Well, you know.
but I was just amazed that you got the talking voice down, and I've never heard any other impression of Judy that got the talking like that. The singing, obviously, as well. Yeah, so it's great.
Thank you.
Now, the singing
I like-
voice, obviously, I've never heard anybody else capture that kind of vibrato that you have. Is that difficult to do?
Oh, I don't want to sound like a big head, but not really.
Yeah.
No, I luckily I'm able to do it without much effort.
I just wonder if it
Because
was
I've
a
got
strain on your
vibrato
voice, because,
naturally.
yeah. I just wondered if it was a strain on your voice, because the way she sang, nobody else ever sang like that.
No, it's not a strain at all.
Yeah.
No. Other singers, like, I guess I did a Janis song.
Janis Joplin.
I love Janis Joplin. That was a bit of a strain on the old vocal cords.
Right.
And some of the Shirley Bassey's and stuff, or Barbara Streisand, when I did Don't Rain on My Parade,
Right.
she's naturally got a slightly higher voice than me. So that was a bit... because I did a few versions of that. I do record them live, but I maybe do, it depends how it goes, but I'll maybe record it 2 or 3 times and choose my favourite one or something like that. And I did about 3 of Barbara because I included props, and that always tends to mess things
Oh,
up.
right,
When
sure.
you've got a prop, you're like, oh no, my hat fell off, or oh, I picked up the boat instead of the train, or whatever. And I ended up singing that one about 3 or 4 times, and it's a big sing, and she's slightly higher than me, like I said. So I pulled something in my neck.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my, what have I done? Ooh. But, for Judy, luckily, we've got a very similar range, I
Right.
think, of the high and low. So it's not a strain to do Judy for me.
Now, you
Luckily.
did, again, I saw this on YouTube, you did an audition tape that's up on YouTube. I guess that was for a show maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what
yeah,
that is?
Worldwide. So, yeah, that was an audition for a cruise.
So you've done Judy before recently. I mean, you had done her before.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't get the flaming job.
Oh, you didn't get it?
But, no.
What's
They
wrong
put
with
it
them?
online.
I thought maybe you got it. Oh, wow. Jeez.
No, not a sniff.
Wow.
No, I wrote, basically, when I was at uni, I did a performing arts degree. And at the end of my degree, you could either do a thesis that was, I can't remember now, 20,000 word essay, or you could put a show on.
Right.
Obviously, I chose to put a show
Sure.
on. And you can do anything you want. So I thought, I'll write one about Judy Garland, because I'd always wanted to sing those songs, and I used to do a Judy Garland impression, like for my grandmother and stuff when I was little, like about 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that'd be fun. So I wrote a little one-woman show about Judy for my degree. So that's how that had come about.
I've been running through rains and the wind that follows after, for one certain face and an unforgotten laughter. I've been following signs, I've been searching through the lands for a certain pair of arms and a certain pair of hands. Yes, I tried a kiss here, and I tried a kiss there. For when you're out in company, the boys and girls will pair. But it never was you. It never was anywhere you. An occasional sunset reminded me, or a flower hanging high on a tulip tree, or one red star hung low in the west, or a heartbreak call from a meadowlark's nest made me think for a moment, maybe it's true. I found him in the star, in the calm, in the blue, but it never was you. It never was anywhere you. You.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was, you got the gig. I mean, what was wrong with them? I hope they went out of business. And that was a younger version of the Judy you did. It's grown. It's grown to the older Judy. I mean, the older that later on Judy that you do now.
Yeah, well, I was sort of trying to do Later on Judy then, but I think I've actually got a bit better because I'm nearer her age, I guess, now. And my voice has matured a bit and stuff like that. I think, without meaning to sound like a big head, I think that I'm better at doing it now than I was in my 20s.
Let's talk a little bit about it. We'll get to some of the other impressions. How do you put this together? I think a lot of people out there are interested. You say, do you go through the song 2 or 3 times, or how do you decide on what song you're going to sing each night?
It sort of depends on the song, really. If it's one that I know well, that I've, sung around the house loads, or maybe, if you go to a karaoke bar, you go, oh, yeah, I could do that one, or whatever. Right. If it's one I've done loads of times, I don't tend to practice it. I'll maybe have it on in the day, but it depends. But there's some where people have suggested songs and said, oh, could you do this one? This is a really good song. And I've been like, oh, yeah, that's good. So then I've learnt some for the evening. It just depends on the song, really. Right. Sometimes I think, oh, I'll do that day. But usually I haven't got much of a clue. And at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going, what should I do? Oh no, what am I going to sing today? But then there's been other times where it's somebody's birthday or something like that. Where I'm like, I'll do one of their songs today. It's a mixture, really. Yeah, it depends on the song, how well I know it, and if I'm trying to sound like someone or if I'm just singing it as me. Because if I'm trying to sound like somebody, then I will practice more in the day. But I don't get much chance to do that much because I have a 2.5-year-old.
Your daughter has made an appearance a few times, right? Yes.
Yeah, he's looking after her in the other room. But my husband's working from home at the moment, so he's upstairs working, and it's me with a 2.5-year-old from about 8:30 to about 7 in the evening. Right. So I don't get much chance to do much stuff. I'm either watching Miraculous Ladybug or painting stones or whatever.
Well, and again, for people that haven't seen Debbie, she also does, you do the makeup, you do the wig, you do the costume, you do a little production, you had the little train with the Barbara Streisand. I mean, you make it a lot of fun, and people have responded. I see the comments on there. You get hundreds of comments.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, that's lovely to see. Yeah, and surprisingly, very, very few nasty ones.
I can't imagine anybody would do nasty, but I mean, it's unbelievable, and the amount of views you're getting on there, it's amazing how Facebook has helped. I guess people share it. I guess that's how people get the views.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I know you kind of started this for a fun thing, but do you have any ambitions to maybe put some shows together? I know you have a daughter to raise and all that, but maybe do some weekend gigs. Are you looking at that?
I'd love to. Yeah, when gigs start happening again,
sure.
I'd love to do some stuff. Yeah, totally. I love singing live. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, with everything, but
well, it'll get better.
Stuff.
Yeah, I know you just from the comments people have said, a lot of people have written and said, you got to do a show, you got to do Judy Garland's Carnegie Hall concert. I mean, you just have that alone you could do.
Wow, that would be amazing. Yeah, that would be great.
Have you always been able to do voices? I mean, we mentioned you did Shirley Bassey, great Shirley Bassey impression. Doris Day is the one I saw first that you did. That was unbelievable. Absolutely. Nobody's ever done Doris Day before that I've seen. That was great.
I had a secret love that lived within the heart of me. All too soon my secret love had grown impatient to be free. So the way my secret love's no secret anymore.
Thank you.
Did it just come naturally to you? You hear it once and you can kind of get it?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been good at doing impressions. Like the first time I ever sang in front of an audience, I was 11 or 10. 10.
Oh.
It was like my last year of primary school, and we did like a sort of talent show. The school you could put on a little thing for all the parents, you know.
Right.
And we chose to do a show. I don't know if you got it in the States, called Stars in Their Eyes.
Similar shows here, yeah, right.
The public can sing as their favourite artist and
Right.
sort of dress them up. We did a version of that at my primary school for fun. We thought, well, this will be a good idea. And I decided I'd do Cher.
Oh, okay.
Because I could do quite a good Cher when I was 10. And because my dad's a musician, he made me a backing track in his home studio. And I did a little tiny bit of the Shoop Shoop song when I was 10.
Oh, right.
And, I sort of came out age 10 in this wig with some boots that I borrowed from my mum that were too big. And I think, my dad tells it that lots of people in the audience were sort of going, ah. And then I went, does he love me? I want to know. People like, what? So, I've always done voices and stuff. Bit of a class clown. I used to do Edina from Absolutely Fabulous.
Okay, I remember that, sure.
And darling, sweetie, Mama wants wine. That sort of thing. But I've always done silly voices, I suppose.
I interrupted you before. I mentioned Shirley Bassey, great Shirley Bassey. Can you do her talking for a second? That's great.
I can do a little bit of Shirley, She sort of talked out of the side of her mouth. And she's got this very expressive face, I can do it like that.
Yeah.
But it's the singing of Shirley with this a lot of fun. But my mum is from Cardiff.
She's Welsh.
Shirley.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, my mum's Welsh.
Yeah.
And she's my other grandmother, worked at the same department store as Shirley Bassey for a little while.
Oh, really?
In the late 40s or early 50s or something.
Right.
David Howells or something, I think it was, in Cardiff.
She's still going strong, right? I think she's still working, Shirley, isn't she?
I think so,
I think she's still working,
I saw her live with my not Welsh grandmother, I don't know, about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We went in a stretch limo to Wembley to see
really?
Bassey.
That's pretty good. Other voices, you did a wonderful Julie. Nobody's ever done a Julie Andrews before that I've heard from a song, a pretty song from Sound of Music that nobody really sings much. That was a nice video you did with her, about her.
Perhaps I had a wicked childhood. Perhaps I had a miserable youth. But somewhere in my wicked, miserable past, there must have been a moment of truth. For here you are, standing there loving me, whether or not you should. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Nothing comes from nothing, nothing ever could. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. What? I knew from the moment I heard you blow that silly whistle. For here you are, standing there, loving me, whether or not you should. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Nothing comes from nothing, nothing ever could. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something, something good.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my favourite one from The Sound of Music. I'd never tried doing a Julie Andrews before.
Oh, you never did it before? Wow.
No, I love that song, and I used to sing it around my university flat with my flatmate, Ross. He'd be the captain and I'd be Julie Andrews. But I've never done it in front of anyone before, really. I've never tried. And I thought, ooh, I'll have a go. And yeah, that was surprisingly.
You got it down. I mean, that was great. And of course, Vera Lynn, who was a great British singer, passed away. 103. I didn't realize she was that age. Yeah. You did a nice tribute to her. You did two, actually. One about a month ago, and then one after she passed.
Yeah. And I'd done another one of her songs, but not necessarily as her.
Right.
Before that as well. So I've actually done 3 Vera Lynn songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was very good, and I like that she was. If you heard her talk, she's still got a real London accent. She was like, "Oh yeah, well I went down to see the Queen." You don't expect it when you see this sort of, blonde singer. Yeah, well, in a war, I went out to Beijing or wherever she went. I don't know. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, of course, during World War II, those songs were very important, not only to the UK, obviously, but America as well. So they were really important songs. Yeah.
Yeah, very much. And that's, when she died a couple of weeks ago, that's when I, for the first time for ages, I actually got a bit emotional.
I saw that, yeah. Yeah.
I felt like a bit of an idiot, but...
No, that was great.
You feel it, don't you?
Yeah,
I was thinking about war and about her, and then.
Anybody who served during World War II. My dad was in World War II, so that was important songs. Well, we mentioned before Billy Stritch, and you did a duet with him on the song "Since You Left New York." Talk a little bit about that, and it's a wonderful song, kind of a jazzy blues song. But talk about how you put that together.
Well, basically, I forget which day it was, but near the beginning-ish of my songs, I had a comment from Sandy Knox saying, "Oh, I love your voice. I'd love to hear you sing one of my songs. There's probably some karaoke tracks of them." And I thought, who's this? And I looked her up and was like, "Oh my God, I've got some of her stuff in my house." I didn't realise that she'd written all these songs, and particularly the song "Does He Love You," which I have by Liza Minnelli and Donna Summer, although it was a big country hit with Lindy Davis and Reba McEntire.
Oh, Reba, okay, Reba, right.
Oh, don't do that bit, Doug. Reba McEntire and Linda Davis had the big hit with it, but I had Liza Minnelli and Donna Summer doing it on the Liza album Gently, and I love that song. And I was like, oh my gosh, Sandy Knox, amazing. So I messaged her back and sent her a picture of me holding Gently, the album.
Right.
And we started talking then, and that was nice. And then I thought, oh, that would be fun. I listened to Does He Love You and thought, do you know what? There's no bit where they're sort of singing in unison. I could try doing it. So I did Does He Love You with half my face as the wife and half my face as the mistress.
Right.
And I tagged Sandy and Billy Stritch in it. And then Sandy sent me a message saying, well, Billy and I have actually written a new song, or we have a song that we've never put out, and we'd like you to sing on it with Billy. Would you be interested? Yes, yes, please. I was like, wow. And they sent it to me to listen to, and it was beautiful. And I was like, oh my word, you know, how lucky. And then they said, okay, what key would you sing it in? So I had to phone, I don't read music.
Right.
So I had to phone my dad up and go, right, Dad, can you get your guitar out? And over the phone, like I'd sent him the demo, he'd listened to it, and he was playing bits on his guitar, and I was going, and he was like, right, you want it in F. Okay, great. And then I told Sandy, I want it in F. And then they recorded a backing track. Billy did the piano, and then he sent it to Sandy, and she got a fabulous bass player and drummer to add to it in Nashville.
Okay.
And then they sent it over to me here in Essex, just above London. Right. And I recorded my vocals in my bedroom because they said sing into your wardrobe for like the dead sound.
Oh, right.
And I had to video myself doing it at the same time so that they could make a music video. So it's me singing it live in the video. Like I just recorded it on my phone, like I've done all of my things. And then I sent that over to Sandy in Nashville, and then this great producer mixed it, and then Billy did his vocals in New York, and then they mixed it all together.
They turned out the lights on old Broadway. They stopped playing jazz in the cabaret. And rumor has it that the plaza closed its doors. And down in the street, cabbies won't blow their horns. Oh, that's how it's been since you left New York.
In Central Park, the birds refused to sing. And I heard the flowers have decided to cancel spring. And that Manhattan moon lost the shine it had before. And I can't see the lights of the skyline anymore. That's how it's been since you left New York. hard to get around, and that's how it'll be till you come back to stay.
No New Year's Eve in Old Times Square. No reason to celebrate if you won't be there.
So much to do here, but it's all become a bore. Even the lady in the harbor has turned down her torch. That's how it's been
Since you
left New York.
I walk in a daze. It's so hard to get around. That's how it'll be till you come back to stay. No New Year's Eve in Old Times Square. No reason to celebrate if you won't be there. So much to do here, but it's all become a lady in the harbor. She has turned down her torch. That's how it's been since you left New York. That's how it's been since you left New York.
Since you left New York.
You left New York.
Why did you leave New York?
Great video. So you did not sing.
Thank you, Uncle.
You didn't sing with him at the time. You sang your part and he sang his part. It was great. It looks like you're just singing it together. It's a great job they did. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, he had my version, and then he recorded his one. Oh, that's my husband.
Right.
Listening to that.
Hi, welcome.
This is Doug.
America says hello to you. We'll wrap it up now because we kept you longer than we said. But I was going to say,
No problem.
you did Barbra Streisand, you did Judy Garland. Are you able to do the Happy Days Are Here Again duet? Have you ever seen that Barbara and Judy did?
Yeah, of course, I've seen it.
Can you do that? It's probably required to record it twice, but that would be great if you could do that.
Yeah, I'm not very technical. Maybe that's one for, because after 100, I'm going to go down to doing 3 a week.
I saw that, yeah, which I don't blame you because you got a life you got to live, even though we all enjoy it.
Yeah, but like I said, that gives me a bit more time to like practice and do stuff that's a bit more, that I haven't done before,
Right.
or a bit more elaborate, I suppose.
Yeah.
So,
I was thinking of that because I didn't know you did the Barbara until you did singing my, Ran on My Parade a couple of weeks ago, which was great, by the way. So if you could do both of those together somehow, I guess you got to do one and then record the other one and sing with it.
And then play them at the same.
Play them at the same time. Yeah, just a thought.
I don't. Well, I'll try. I don't know. I'll have a go.
But we've been talking with Debbie Wileman, again, Song a Day on Facebook and YouTube as well. You got a YouTube channel. I know you started that recently. And, again, you're getting great response. I imagine people all over U.S. are commenting, so that must make you feel good.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice. And there's been people phoning me and contacting me that I feel like are now my friends, even though I've never, like, I mean, I know that everyone's friends on Facebook, but there's people I genuinely
real friends,
like, and it's like, oh, that's so nice, yay! And people have chatting on the phone to some people, and although we've never met in person, it's like, oh wow, they're really nice. What a great thing. And you know, I know the internet can get a lot of stick sometimes, and you know, people go, oh, trolls and all that, but really, I mean, about 99% of what I've had from it personally has been fantastic, and it's such a nice thing, you know, to meet people like yourself, Doug. It's really nice.
Well, I think it's great.
I'll be talking to a lovely man in Sarasota today.
Appreciate that.
Like, it's crazy for me in a really nice way, you know.
Well, I think what you're doing is you're helping people that are.
And he's in New York, and he went out with Lorna Luft when she was a teenager, and he said, "Well, I met Judy a few times, and I was chatting to Larry Russell. He's lovely, and Ty Jeffrey I only met through Facebook, and he's a lovely guy that we've really got on, and he's written some songs that I've performed, and it's all from this. It's just really nice."
Yeah, and what you're doing is obviously people are stuck at home. They're looking forward to this about 7 o'clock every night Eastern to see you. So you're doing a great service, Debbie, and we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much, Doug.
Tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a bowl of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'll march my band, I'll beat my drum, and if out your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. Guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rose of pure perfection, the freckle on the nose of life's complexion, a cinder or a shiny apple of its eye, I gotta try once, I gotta fly once, only can die once, right, sir? Ooh, life is juicy, and you see my bite, sir. Get ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I've simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. I'm gonna live and live now. Get what I want, I know how. One throw, but the whole shebang. One roll, that bell will go clang. Eye on the target and wham. One shot, one gunshot, and bam! Hey, Mr. Ornstein, here I am. I march my band out. I'll beat my drum, and if I'm out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. Guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart to drum, and nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my parade. I believe in doing what I can, crying when I must, laughing when I choose. Hi-ho, if love were all, I would be lonely. I believe the more you love a man, the more Musette? Jean Tom did what? He's no cat. He's a dog. Little drops of rain, little rays of sun, make the whole